To make a stop motion animation in Adobe Premiere is a really simple process. When you first open Adobe Premiere and you do a new project, you're going to get a few dialog boxes coming up asking you things like the capture format. Just go ahead and hit OK through those until you get to your workspace. We'll worry about those later when we're actually shooting video. So here I have my workspace. I have my 3 video and audio channels. We're not going to be worrying about audio right now. We'll create a sound piece for your stop motion animation for the next assignment, and then we have our 3 video channels. And keep in mind that this works like layers in Photoshop. Whatever's on top with the video channels is what you're going to be able to see. So you can utilize as many video channels as you want to organize things, but for your stop motion animation, you're probably just going to need to drag and drop all of your images you've shot into the Video 1 channel. So to start off, we need to go to our preferences in Premiere Pro, go to Preferences General. And what we need to do is we need to change the still image default duration right here. So we have got this set at 24 frames per second. And what we want to do is do something called animate on the twos, which means that we want each frame or each still image you've taken with your photo to be up for 2 frames. So that would give us a 12 frame per second rate on our stop motion, which is going to look pretty smooth. The more frames per second we have, the smoother it'll look, but it'll also take up way more images. So 12 frames per second is going to be decent enough for this assignment. So where it says still image default duration, make sure and type in a 2 there for each photo is up for 2 frames a second, 12 frames total in our 24 frame per second frame rate. Okay, so now that that's set, what we need to do is drag in all of our images. So you've done all of your shooting, you've kept all your files in order on your SD card, they're already named in order for you. And what I've done is I've just screen capped some images from a music video just to sort of give you guys an idea of how this works. And I've saved them all in one folder on the desktop. Now I'm going to take all my still images I need and I'm going to drag them right here into my workspace, and I can click and I can see all of them here in order the way that I've taken them and they were saved. A weird little quirk about Premiere, when you view them in the image preview viewer, like this, a lot of the time it does not organize them in order. And so you could drag them into your workspace and they're going to actually not be in sequence. If you make sure you view them as a list view here, and that will make sure that all of your still images are in order. I know that seems ridiculous. So I'm going to select all of my screenshots here and I'm going to drag them to the Video 1 channel. Now when I've done that, it looks like I haven't placed anything into my timeline, but that is because I am viewing my timeline zoomed out, if you will, quite a bit. And when I go ahead and change that view, now I'm going to see the images, so make sure and pay attention to that view. And so I'm going to go ahead and highlight all these and drag them to the start of my timeline here. And now when I hit the spacebar to play, we can see that my images are now playing in order. And again, I've only dropped in a few of them. You guys are going to have, at least 300 images here to make a 30-second stop motion video. 350 to 500 is going to be the average for you guys. Now, part of this assignment is also for you to make a title for your video. You can go ahead and animate a title with stop motion, if you will, which can be really fun to do. If you want to add in a text title, it's very simple. Up here in the main menu, you can do title, new title, default still. So you're going to treat it just like a still image. And you can go ahead and create that with different texts and different type. Be careful of what type you use. Don't let it get too cheesy if you want to create your own title. And then however long you want that title duration, you can add in that title several times to take up however many frames per second you would like, or you can change that duration that it plays fairly easily. Okay, so now that I have all of these in order and they're playing, what I want to make sure to do is that I'm rendering my workspace while I'm working, and if I go ahead and hit the enter button, it's going to say rendering. So especially when you guys get into video and sound, you're going to want to render often because you can't export until it's rendered, and this could take a very long time sometimes when we're dealing with video. For your stop motion animations, it shouldn't be too complicated. So once I have this rendered, and let's say that it's all finished, what I'm going to do then is export my video, and I'm going to go to Export Media. And I'm going to get this format up. Now, most of you, your format is probably going to be defaulted to QuickTime. Don't get confused about this. You need to make sure that it's on H.264. And when you click on preset below that, you're going to get all these presets for Vimeo, YouTube, Apple iPods, all of that. If you don't see all of these presets for YouTube and Vimeo and things like that, that makes sense. It's because your format is not in H.264. So make sure H.264, and then choose what you want to be exporting to. And you guys, for the most part, we're going to be YouTube widescreen HD. And when the output name here, you can click on that and then choose where that's going to save and what the title is, so you don't have trouble finding it. Okay, and once I have all of those selected, I can go ahead and export my stop motion animation. Now, part of this assignment is that you have successfully exported your stop motion animation, uploaded it onto YouTube or Vimeo, and it's playable by the due date. So you have to make sure that this is playable. So give yourself enough time to export the video and get it up on YouTube or Vimeo. And keep in mind that Vimeo, the queue sometimes takes hours to upload a video, and you can only upload so much in a week. So just be prepared to save yourself some extra time to export to Vimeo if you would rather use that website.